What do you want to say about cycles?
Okay, what do I want to say about cycles?
And yoga and Ashtanga and astrology and naturalism and all the things that
oh my gosh.
You're such a traveler within. You're a journeyer within all these things.
Yeah.
Feel for you.
Well, I mean, I feel like I can talk about them for a long time. And like we talked about earlier, it's like there are cycles within cycles happening all the time. And one of the things, I'm always trying to not bring in too much astrology into just my yin classes, even though my study of yin and the fact that I get to intentionally teach those classes, prepare for those classes, think about those classes twice a week, it keeps me kind of in that space. And I don't do quite as much with astrology consistently in that way, mostly because I'm like living a lot of astrology right now. My chart is kind of like lit up in a lot of ways.
Really?
And so it's kind of intense to look at all the time and not get like too, I don't know, worried about. That sounds really dramatic, but but there's a lot that's happening and I'm living it and I'm like, okay, I'm vaguely aware that these things are in the future, even, happening right now, and like, okay, I'm aware of that. But when I'm thinking about like seasonally what's happening and with regard to how I teach the yin practice, which Chinese medicine runs through 5 seasons and focuses on different organs that need support in any given season. And then there's elements we can work with and emotions we can work with. And the more that I'm studying these things and I'm seeing correlations with like the zodiac signs that each of like, in spring we have Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, and how just how much of like the practice of yin yoga, as I'm teaching it at least, like correlates to these things, and they sort of like weave in and out of one another. And anyway, so then I teach like workshops that more intentionally focus on these two things and how they correlate to one another. So I don't know. What do I want to say about cycles? I'm just really, I'm constantly fascinated with, I don't know, like the cycles of our lives, how we are coming to, it's April 1st. Oh, it's my friend's birthday.
It's April Fool's Day.
It totally is.
We didn't fool each other. Or did we?
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. Which I love. Actually, I thought about that. I'm like, oh, why did I like schedule it for April 1st? It's fine. But I love that you use the Fool card as your
oh yeah, I do. Yeah,
on your thing. I'm like, yeah, that's appropriate. That's great.
I'm the Fool.
Oh, well, yeah.
The Fool's Journey.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. My friend who is an astrologer, I think his whole thing, I don't know if he still uses it, is the Fool's Inclination. I think, is that what he says? Is that his website? The Fool's, I'll have to look it up.
Yeah,
I haven't looked it up in a long time. Anyways, his name is David. Okay, cycles. So, okay, we're at April 1st. Like, we could, in theory, like look back at all the April 1sts in our lives and see if there are like reoccurring themes. Like maybe there are. Even as we come into this April 1st and April 1st next year, it's like the sun is relatively at the same place, but everything else is in a different place.
Right.
And we have, it's almost not like a cycle in terms of like beginning, end. It's more like a spiral, right? And that we sort of get the opportunity to come to this similar place and reflect and see, like, again, that past experience, what's happening now, what are my intentions, how does like current circumstance and my intention line up to the next best action for me to take or not take. And I think we're always, whether we're conscious of it or not, are always sort of working through those concepts for ourselves. But when, again, we're really intentionally looking at and considering where we are in space-time reality, kind of what's maybe on the forecast for us according to the stars, maybe how we're feeling in our body, how is the breath moving in this moment, again, just all these cycles within cycles. And it's like the more that I'm opening myself to, I don't know, like incorporate all these different things that I'm interested in and look at all the cycles of nature, right? Because like that's just in its own timing, and it's like how like the miracle of like how that all functions without any input, it just goes, and how much of that is alive in us as well, because we're technically part of nature. There are some in like indigenous cultures that don't have a separate word for nature because
we are nature. We are definitely part of nature.
A separate word for human, I should say.
Okay.
Separate word for human, because we're not separate of nature.
We're animals.
We are nature.
Yeah, we are
Why are
natures.
we like? How are we? Why would you have a different name for us? But the more I can like be aware of and incorporate all these different parts of myself, I may not be making the absolute best choice for myself in all moments, but like there has been a lot more ease, even when things are challenging, even when like in January, I had my computer my backpack was stolen. It had my computer, it had like notebooks that were precious to me, my wallet, like all of it, like stolen.
That's like devastation.
Truly. It was really hard. And that day I kept, blaming myself.
Of course.
Why did I,
why did I put that there? Why did I do this?
Totally. And
what am I going to do? Like you're in,
Yeah. And then like my focus started shifting to the person who stole it and like what they must be going through, that became like their only option. And like, I was like, oh, I hope, I do write down, especially like my yen classes where I'm reading poetry and reading things. I had like one of those notebooks was in my backpack, and it's like, oh, maybe they read something, like maybe something meant something to them, and it'll help them. And I would still like to have like the notebooks back, especially. I know I've relinquished that definitely, but sometimes when I'm driving nearby where I know it was stolen, I'm like, little purple notebook, like do I see it?
If you're out there,
tiny purple notebook,
and you have
I don't know.
Hollie's purple notebook, you can keep the computer.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
She doesn't really care about the wallet.
No, those have been replaced.
There's some like notes in there that she wants back.
I would love it, but
you could send them to me, and I'll get them to her. You could send them to Studio Satya.
Yeah, just tuck it under the
thing.
Yeah,
what are you going to do with it?
I don't know.
What are you going to do with it?
Nothing.
You're not going to do anything with that notebook. You probably threw it away.
Yeah.
Or maybe they dipped into that notebook enlightenment.
Maybe.
And maybe they're like practicing somewhere, and they've like,
maybe so.
It's transformed their life. That's a good story to tell yourself.
Maybe. Yeah.
That was a catalyst.
Yeah.
For growth and change.
Yeah.
For that.
Maybe.
Little ne'er-do-well.
That's right. But like, if that had happened a year ago, or I don't know, however long ago, I don't know that I would have handled it as well, or I could have still been, beating myself up or whatever, whatever it is. And so it's not like, recent times have been just super easy and like, oh, I'm just really in alignment with, my choices or whatever. But I do feel like the practice of yoga and this idea of, I don't know, being connected to myself, being connected to like the, I don't know, inner workings of my own community, of extended communities beyond, what I can see and directly interact with. I do believe that everything ripples out, and I feel that amount of connection as well. And sometimes things return. And I feel like that can be a cycle, and it might be returned in, kindness of a stranger, in a serendipitous interaction, and where just, how did this thing line up, and I don't know, just being like paying attention to all of it. And I think the more that I'm incorporating all these parts of myself and like letting that be known also, I feel I don't know. I don't know exactly like everything I'm saying yes to or how the path is unfolding in front of me exactly, but like I have some clarity in that like this path right now feels really good. Yeah. I don't know if that answers your
I
question.
think it
or not.
does.
Okay.